Hello everybody and welcome to my first ever cheap toy hunting video. I think I've said this several times on the show, but I've built my collection around the concept of getting things for less than retail price. So here is several things that I found that were cheap over the last while. First of all, right down here in the front, you see these two helmets.
Commander, tear this ship apart until you found those plans and bring me the passengers. I want them alive!
I want to say they came out right about the time of The Force Awakens hitting theaters. They did helmets of Darth Vader and Stormtrooper, but they also did several other helmets. Here's a picture of where I found these helmets. I was actually pretty surprised because I've never seen anything of worth show up at the dollar store, but this was at the Dollar Tree. They had all of these helmets and they were selling for $1. Now I want to say that they originally sold for somewhere around 20 bucks to begin with. I could be wrong. It could be more like 10 bucks. But yeah, $1. I got this for $1. Both of these helmets together. Now you can't, it doesn't make a sound. I need something metal to ping against. Those helmets are die-cast metal. Underneath Darth Vader's helmet, you can actually take his top part off. That's just all plastic, but this is a metal hood, I guess, for his helmet. And this is mostly metal as well. I'm sure there's probably some plastic in there. But these helmets were $1 for both of them, which means they were 50 cents each. I was pretty amazed. The funny thing is, looking at this picture again, yeah, they had all these other helmets, and yeah, I didn't care. They're not the stuff I was interested in. But I do have to admit, I've realized recently, I am a big fan of the original trilogy of Star Wars films. Not so much a fan of all the rest of the stuff. It's starting to make me wonder if I am a Star Wars fan. If that counts, if I don't like 7 out of the 10 movies, does that make me still a Star Wars fan? If I love 3 of them so much, but I don't appreciate anything else? I don't know. Anyways, moving on to the next thing.
Mega thrusters are go! Form, arms, and body!
Okay, here we have the Green Lion, and I'm pretty sure this came from the Voltron TV show that just came out. They had a set of lions that you could get that would form Voltron. So this lion, I'm pretty sure, would form the arm of that Voltron. Maybe it doesn't, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that it went with that. He is also a die-cast lion. Obviously not completely, just the green parts, or some of the green parts, like his chest here is die-cast, but the rest of them is not. This Green Lion I got, I would say probably half price of what they were selling at Walmart back when they were selling at Walmart. It was probably like $5.99, $4.99, something like that. I saw it at Ross, just happened to be there among all the crap. Ross is usually a huge pile of garbage. There's no organization at Ross. They don't, take all the things and line them up, the same things together. They just throw them all on a shelf. Or maybe they just have surrendered because, they lined them up one time and then people just came in and trashed it. And so they lined them up again and people trashed it. And after like the 5th or 6th time, they said, you know what? Our thing is going to be having toys that look like they were trashed. And they just leave it that way. But I stumbled upon this. I don't expect to find the rest of the lions, but I liked Voltron enough that I was willing to go for it. I have a Voltron, full Voltron, that I bought all the way back in I want to say it was 1998, maybe 1999, but I don't have any of the lions separately, and these are pretty cool. Look at how cool the pose is that I was able to get this lion into. So it's neat. And I have plans for what I call a Wall of Magic, although Rish Outfield has suggested I need to change it to the Wall of Voodoo. So maybe it'll be the Wall of Voodoo instead. But if you've ever seen the YouTube series Mental Floss, they have this thing in the background on their set that's just a big grid, basically, full of toys. And it's so cool looking, and I love the look of it, and I just want to repeat that. I have lots and lots of random various toys that I've gathered throughout the years of doing this kind of cheap toy hunting style of collecting, and I'd love to set them up in a similar way. And so this green lion will occupy one of those little cubby hole type things. And the helmets, Darth Vader and Stormtrooper, would do the same. Furthermore, things that would occupy the various cubbies are these guys. I found these guys at Five Below. I hadn't seen them elsewhere. I missed them when they came out. I used to be a bit of a crazy collector of Pez dispensers. I liked it because, as I said, I'm cheap. And the cool thing is, Pez dispensers aren't expensive. Even full price at, I don't know, Toys R Us, which was the most expensive place that I ever found them, they were still just a couple of bucks a piece. So you can buy, you find them, you buy them, you don't feel bad. You haven't wasted a ton of money on a Pez dispenser no matter what you do. So Pez dispensers are cool. I have a lot of Avengers Pez dispensers. And these guys have come out since, I gave up mostly collecting Pez dispensers a while back because I basically got to the end. I got to where I was like, okay, these are all the ones that I want. Everything else that they have is, Hello Kitty and stuff. My Little Pony, I'm not really interested in them. So I stopped. But here and there I'll see one that's kind of like an addition to a group that I already have, like the Avengers. I have Captain America and Hulk and Thor and Iron Man and Groot and Rocket Raccoon, interestingly, but no others of the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's one thing that's unfortunate about Pez dispensers. They usually just make a couple. They don't give you the whole crew. But, maybe they will eventually. Maybe this upcoming movie, they'll add in a few more. But yeah, these came out just recently when the new movies came out. I saw them at Five Below. And the funny thing is, they're not cheap. I mean, when I say cheap toy hunting, these weren't cheaper than regular price. They're just plain old regular price. But since they're Pez dispensers, they're not expensive. So I was happy to pick them up and add them to my bunch. And yeah, they'll go up into one of those nooks in the Wall of Voodoo once I get that finished. And I'll have a video about it too when I do get it finished. I did a time lapse of myself constructing the bookshelves that will become the Wall of Voodoo, but I still have to construct all the little dividers that are going to go inside of that. So that's going to take a little while. Okay, lastly, we've got Reaper here. Reaper I found at Five Below as well. He was selling for $5, which is pretty much what anything sells for at Five Below for the most part, unless it never cost more than $5 to begin with. It's not as great a deal as you might expect. And I'm sure they got them for cheap. Obviously, originally, those Multiverse Mattel figures are around 20 bucks. And getting them for $5 is quite a deal. It's, 20, 25, 75% off, 25% on. And yeah, I saw this guy, and to tell you the truth, I am not familiar with Reaper. I had to look him up. I guess he was in Batman Year 2. He's a cool looking character. I love the scythes. I love the skull face. When I saw him, it was relatively near to Halloween time. And I had gone overboard, as I've said before, on my Halloween decorations for the first time. I'd put spider webs all over the bookshelves, and I'd changed several figures' heads out for skulls, and et cetera, et cetera. And I wanted to take it to the next level. And so, yeah, a skull face figure was the perfect addition. So I picked up this Reaper, who was really cool. He's got a lot of good detail on him, but I feel like you can't see it very well. I think he needs a wash, which, yeah, that's a thing I know how to do now. Thank you, Cosplay Chris.
Some good old black shoe polish.
I may give him that. Give him a little wash so that he looks more grungy and more awesome. So there you have it. Cheap toy hunting results. It's out there, you know what I mean? Like, there are people who pay $80, $100 or more for figures, and you know, I can't begrudge them that. If they want to spend their money on that, they can spend their money on that. I've always made the cornerstone of my collection getting things that are inexpensive. And I've gotten so many things. Most of my stuff I've gotten when it was on sale. And there's a fair amount that I actually paid full price for, but almost never something that was really expensive. That big AT-AT that you see behind my head in all of my videos was a gift. If it hadn't been a gift, I probably would not have it still, even though it's the thing that I wanted most all growing up. But, you know, AT-ATs were expensive, and I've told you about how I did not have money growing up. And truthfully, I still really don't have that much money. That's why I buy stuff on sale. That's why I hunt for cheap toys. It's a way to still have the joy of the hunt for toys while not spending way too much. So that's what I do. And you know what? I'm gonna try and do one of these as often as I can. I've got some other stuff sitting around that I can talk about. So I'll be back with another cheap toy hunting soon. So I'm sure you're on the edge of your seats and you just can't wait. So I'll see you then. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, please. We'll see you next time. Leave a comment if you have any cool deals that you've found. What's your favorite deal that you've found cheap toy hunting? Let me know. See ya.